Hey there, everyone. Welcome to Viper Squadron podcast. We are here with me. I have Larry,
Everybody.
and we are just going to talk about some of the stuff that's been going on in X-Wing. Um, some of the things that you see with, with all the new tournaments coming out and who's going to be coming on top and whatnot. Um, like Larry, I was telling you, I was pulling up some lists of some tournaments
Mm-hmm.
just so I could see where some of the stuff that we were talking about had come in and stuff. So yeah, let's see.
And that's what I want to see myself. And that's what I'm trying to go pull up myself. See what lists people have made. See what I can learn from those who took a chance to see if they could pull out the impossible by making them win. And the first one I see is wow. Okay, the squad I'm not flying right now.
Where are you
Right.
at?
I went to Meta Wings,
Meta
ME.
Wing?
Yeah.
But they don't have the second edition ones, do they?
That's a problem I'm trying to figure out. I'm going to back out because I just typed on the search engine X-Wing. I should have typed 2.0 at the end. Let's see. Yep, I sure didn't put it in there. Let's see.
Or that?
See, 2.0.
Did you see the link I just sent you?
Yep. Don't try that with me.
Yeah, and I was looking over. They have the list for the Nordics.
Uh huh.
Um, they played what last? Well, yeah, last weekend. Um, yeah, it was their national championships. It was in Stockholm.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
So what do you think? What do you think started
I,
at the top, or I mean, who finished at the top?
yeah, I'm looking at the first squad of people, and I'm looking at the configuration right now, which is kind of interesting. When until they're using crack shot and servo motors, S foil, Neuro, Neuro Weekly plus
Where are
Orchid.
you at? Which one are you in?
I went to the first one on the list. The
Oh, yeah,
Terminal
but
X.
I was going to the Nordics. It's
Oh,
like the
you're
third down.
okay. Yeah, because I
Because it was
realized
the national champions. I wanted a championship. I wanted to look at it, so we can.
okay, I'm on it right now. I am not even going to try to say the full name of that person after it says Mickey. Nah, I'm gonna leave that name. They can keep the name until I learn how to speak Norwegian.
Yeah, that's a tough name of who won.
Yes, especially once you get past the third part, get to the third part of it, it's like it starts with a P, and I was like, wow, I have never seen that many Z's in a name. But I commend you, whoever they are. Let's
Yeah.
see.
So
Oh,
they flew two Fang fighters in Guri in yeah Star Viper.
yeah, which is ooh kind of
The old
interesting.
old Tarok with
Uh-huh.
Predator, Ben Rao with Fearless, and Guri with Predator.
Hmm. Must have flown that one tight and aggressive. I'm assuming, especially using Predator twice and Fearless.
Well, I mean, well, that old Tarok, I mean, you have to fly them in quick. I mean, in fast because they to be able to use that the pilot ability they have, it's they have to be within range one.
Ah, so it's
So,
the Strike Fighter moves up. Interesting. More food for thought. Ugh. Ooh, someone's using mines. Red line, advanced sensors, and proton torpedoes. I knew I was going to hear the word I did not want to hear.
What,
Weapons. So no. Oh God, no, not weapons.
they lost.
Hopefully,
They lost.
no. How can I put it? Every time I've used weapons in the old version, it's
Yeah,
like, come on, do damage. Come on, do damage. Why so little damage? I
yeah,
want wreak like 3 or 4. I don't know, shields, all, whatever. I don't care. If it's 3, that's more closer to victories than, oh, 1 shield gone. You telling me I fired a cluster of missiles? The first missile batch missed last turn. Second time I fired with my last shot. Oh, you hit. Make no small. And people wonder why I'm like, yeah, I'll stick to my guns. Everyone's like, try out the weapons, try the missiles and landmines this time around. I'm like, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. I'm not a person that's like I must sustain from something that might have been improved because I've been watching how the mines have been improved. I'm like, so the mines, not only do they blow up and hurt something, there's a chance they'll blow up at obstacles.
yeah.
Okay.
When you have like the seismic charges and you blow those suckers up.
Yeah, they take out asteroids and stuff. I just wonder how big the asteroid has to be before it won't blow it up or take it out.
Yeah. No, it's gonna blow up no matter what.
Oh,
I
never
mean,
mind.
if there's a seismic charge because um, near a near a rock and it goes off,
Yeah,
then it's going to um, blow up the rock. So it's going to be um, pretty devastating. Because think about it. How far out does that during the system phase? You may spend one. You'd spend one thing to drop a seismic charge with one template. So you can drop a seismic charge,
mm-hmm.
you know, right near a rock, and then you got like the big rock, and then you got what it damages from range 1 out.
Yeah,
Yeah, so think about it. So you got range 1 up here, you got the rock, then you got the seismic charge,
yeah,
that big kind of oval right there that you're gonna get a you can get a bunch of damage.
true. Which well, actually, when Calvin used his, miraculously, I wasn't even thinking he was going. He even had ordnance. I should have asked about that, but I didn't. When he used his ordnance, he was, I guess, thinking he was going to get me, but I somehow maneuvered just far enough that when it went off, the only ships that suffered any damage was his. So it was like, that's the pro and the con of that weapon now. It's like, yes, it's gotten stronger. Yes, it's gotten devastating, but still got some drawbacks to it. I'm like, I can't argue with that. Can't make it godlike, but make it just close to seem like it's a godlike weapon that in this game that you might be more willing to try it. I'm down for it. Now I'm wondering this. I wonder about the other mines. So any
What,
other? I'm thinking like the proximity mine. If it goes off, if it's being actively used right now, would it take out asteroids at the same time do damage to the set ship that it activated on when it got within range, or is it just only seismic charge?
that blows up the rock?
Yeah, like any bomb. Will any bomb do, or just gotta have a specific one?
No, it has to be the seismic charge is the one that does it because all what the other bombs, there's what only proton bombs and the bomblet generator.
Okay, so the other ones haven't been reintroduced yet. Okay, gotcha. Hmm. Okay, well, that's a good pro for a weapon that one time I always thought was just a good flash and more of a terror weapon than it was a. I can do extreme. I mean, yeah, you can do damage with it per se, but your enemy has to be within the proximity of where it's at before it goes off. And if they're not, then it's like, well, you place something that just went off. Whereas other bombs, you could place it and leave it there, and someone has to do is just remember There's a bomb over there. If I get any close to it, I may trigger it or timer, and by timer like move per set didn't goes off, and that's it. Oh man, I just think about all the other bombs I've ever messed with. The only one I haven't messed with is nets. Yeah, the netting weapon, I always kind of felt like, what happens if the netting weapon, if I use it, backfires?
But you're
It just,
talking about what, like the Connor net?
yeah. And I'm starting to think like Wile E. Coyote moments here. So forgive me. It's like, great plan. Use it. Somehow, instead of doing damage or stopping the opponent I was against, turns around and stops and hurts me. And I'm like, okay, how that happened? Oh god,
Well,
that was.
the Connor net's what, a mine, right?
I believe so.
Genesis phase, you may spend a thing, drop a Connor net. This card cannot be recovered. Well, you only get it's a one-time use on that one.
Okay.
But, I mean, those things are so long. I mean, it's gonna sit out there. It can block some traffic. You know.
And yeah, we put in that terms that could change the whole entire field of the battlefield, because I'm thinking like, what is it? I'm thinking of a PC game I've seen or touch or played a long time ago, where you start off on the map, and yeah, it's kind of like the game that a lot of young people are playing called Battle Royale. You land on the map, and as time goes by, let's just say hypothetically, you playing against a person that does a change on the map of how much space you have to run around. So that person's like, well, time's up. Well, you can't be in this area or that area. If you do, it's game over for you in so many words. And with that counter net, it's like that. It's like, hey, guess what? You know that one area you want to go to? Denied. So kudos for now being more effectively annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be something I'm going to think about now. Maybe another build. Because we're talking about these ordnance. I'm starting to sit here and think, what ship would feel, I mean, of course, the bombers, but what pilot and what style configuration should I have the weapon? Well, of course, it doesn't have weapons, it only has meats. Heck, why I keep thinking about combat when I'm trying to, combat scenarios I've heard, instead of realize I'm talking about or maneuvering with ships, but nevertheless, I digress. The Conternets now got my undivided attention, and after playing, seeing what the seismic bomb can do, that got my undivided attention. So let's say for his future, instead, someone I'm playing against decided to figure out, well, he has a bomber, so I'm gonna put this in his way. Well, huh? Was that? Oh boy, that's why I keep one open. I'm not setting off right now. Is it doing this on your side?
What is that?
Oh, like you remember what it said? It sounded like an echo effect. This time it
Yeah.
sounded like someone was trying to speak backwards. I was like,
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
yeah,
But,
sure.
but that's something I'm thinking about. It's like, I can't wait to see what concoction I can come up with now with explosives. I always wanted to use them, was just afraid to use them.
Yeah. Yeah, I was never one that used a lot of bombs
Mm,
uh, before, and and I still don't. It's not one of the things I like to play with. But I mean, it can do a lot more damage now. The way they have it set with the system phase and all that stuff, kind of um, makes a big difference um, with it because instead of dropping it after they move. They kind of have to throw it out there, and if you've already expect them to be throwing it out there, and you've already moved around, it can kind of
yep.
benefit you instead of them thinking, well, I'll take it, and I'll drop this bomb as an action just because I happen to be right next to you after I move.
Yeah.
So
And since you mentioned that, that's going to force people now to do what they did in the past with the bomb, replan how they're going to use the ordnance and how they're going to get to their prey. Oh boy, thinking
right,
about that, interesting. Because you can't think, oh, I'm in America. Well, he's trying to use America as an example, but I'm in America, so I got the legal system that can help protect me. No, you're more or less in a battlefield, so it's winner takes all.
Yeah, so yeah, seismic charge is the only one that does that stuff because the proton bomb is the one that gives anyone in range 0 to 1 a critical damage.
uh, okay, yeah, and that is that
And
is
like the build I saw, I was playing around with, I had both of those bombs on there, the seismic charm and the proton bomb. So if you're close, I could drop out, and then the trajectory simulator, so I could launch it.
yeah.
If I knew you're going to be moving close, or that's the direction I already see you coming, and there's a rock near you,
Oh
throw that
god,
sucker out there, and after you move, after the end of activation, it blows up, takes out the rock too.
true.
Or just drop that, or just throw that proton bomb out there too. I mean, that crit, because of how bad the crits can hurt you now, it,
Oh, don't remind me.
you know, it makes a big difference. And so when they suffer one critical damage, it's not even like they can roll to miss it anymore. It's
Yeah,
you take the damage. There's not, oh, you roll to see if you take damage.
true. And that's when I had the experience. It's like, oh, you got damage. I was like, yeah. Guess what? What you move straight, roll a dice, and you like you said, you still get damaged. I'm just saying, like that was pointless. You forced me to go straight, then roll a
Yeah.
dice. No, it wasn't roll a dice. Yeah, it was go straight, receive damage, and the car resolves itself and flips itself face down again. I'm like, wow.
Well, well, see, think about it. If you have like the squad I had what Lieutenant Sai in the shuttle,
Yeah,
and we have an ion cannon on that. So if you ion cannon hit somebody, they have an ion, you know where they're going, straight
pretty
one. Then you launch a bomb out right in front of them.
much. That's just
You either proton. I mean, proton, you're going to get a crit. You know,
yeah.
the seismic, you're going to get a damage. So I would throw the proton bomb at them after that
Yeah, that's just
because
mm,
you already know that they like if you got the ion cannon and hit him this
uh,
round, at the beginning of next round, all he's going to do is move. So you throw that during the system phase, throw that bomb out there and have him come near it.
pretty much. That's what I was like, man. That's just harsh. I've seen some people do that to other people once or twice, and I just sit there like, wow, that ooh, they got good. I'm not like, what do you mean? By they got good. In other words, they got you good, and you come and ask me how to help save you. The only thing I can say is just shake hands and move forward. Because your fight with them is over. Uh, just about. Oh God, just thinking of that. Mm, mm. Uh, your ship is crippled already. Well, let's just add some more salt to the wound. Hey, your ship's now gone from crit to almost completely destroyed. How do you feel? Not so happy.
Yeah, because think about it, when you have the ion, I'm just thinking about the ion cannon. You hit that, so you know where they're going,
True.
and you throw it in there. It just takes. I don't know, man. I think that just kind of it's a bad thing to have them near each other because then you think about it, then they also uh, they also could be, like I said, Lieutenant Sai. His thing is, that, or well, I'm with the director Krennic I put on there, and if you have the optimized prototype on the Punisher,
Yeah.
and then let's say I target lock them, and one round early, you hit them like that, and then you use then the red line shoots at him on the
Mm,
next round after he already gets hit with the bomb.
mm, mm. I'm not saying person with rage quit, but it'd probably be hot. Like I was doing good until you got those. Hmm. The next question is: can you make a strongness ship that can counteract that? Well, you can generate more. You can only generate one hull or one shield, or a hull in a shield. But the question is, will the shield actually hold against 18's fist? And that I don't know. I'm sorry, I was just thinking something out loud. Like, if you were facing a ship, like for instance, with a proton bomb, then get hit with
Yeah.
another bomb. I was just thinking of Dragon Ball Z for a second there. It's like you're fine, all of a sudden, like 18 comes out of nowhere and hits you. I'm being 17 up. Bam! You get hit in the head. It's like, well, that plan totally sucks. So yeah,
Um, yeah. Um, yeah. And then, okay, so let's get back to this. And FFG put out that article on the resistance.
yeah. I was looking
Did
at that right
Did
earlier.
you
I'm
see
sorry.
it?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Uh,
did you read through it at all and see what the differences are?
and what I did was I did a rough glance, and I seen some of the. Where did I put that phone at? Yep, that's what I get. I set my phone down somewhere out of range, and now I got to figure out where it's at. But anyways, I'm about to pull it up and talk about it since we were talking about it. Oh, of course, that's what I did wrong. My feeling is so far, I like what I've seen as the introduction, as few of the cards of some of the resistant fighters. Of course, we're going to have Poe getting back. The question is, well, we won't have two different version Poes like we did in the old version, so I'm happy about that because
Yeah.
someone, well, can I have two Poes or I'm allowed to have only one version Poe since there's two version Poe cards? I'm like,
You want to part that up? That's kind of stupid. You can. It's a unique power. You're only gonna have one. Just like you can't have a Vader crew and a Vader ship.
true.
There's only one.
Agreed on with you on that part. Let's see announcements, inspiration, of course, resisting
And
conversion. Go ahead.
I'm just saying that if you look through that and they start showing it, and they have the graphic when it has Poe um, against the silencer, and
Uh,
just the repositioning. If you have certain things on with Poe, is just nuts.
mm,
Because they have, let's see, Poe Dameron. After you perform an action, you may spend a charge to perform a white action, treating it as red. He's got one charge. It's it'll
yeah.
regenerate, but he has a focus, a target lock, and a boost. So
He's what
wow,
makes Blue Ace,
crazy.
the old Blue Ace seem like a joke right now with maneuverability. And I used to abuse the Blue Ace like crazy. Put BBA on Blue Ace. Man, I remember when I did that. Everyone just started like, oh, okay.
Okay,
Um, I'm sorry, but let's see what I was gonna say. When it came to that, oh god, Blue Ace with BB8. I had him all over the freaking map at one point. Someone was like, "How did you do that?" I was like, "Well, Blue Ace hauls tail, and every time I had a green maneuver, BB8 got excited, so I was able to do a barrel roll. Barrel roll left, barrel roll right. To help me dodge something, keep going. That was before
yeah.
also. Yeah.
Well, now you have BB-8. It just gives you. It says before you execute a blue maneuver,
Uh,
you can spend a charge to perform a barrel roll or a boost. And the graphic they had on there that has him doing a barrel roll.
yeah.
He does a barrel roll, then he goes a three straight, and then after you perform a slam, oh, because he has a black one title and it gives you the slam.
Uh,
So then it says after you perform a slam, you lose one charge. Then you may gain one ion token to remove one disarm token. If your charge is inactive, you cannot perform the boost action. So it has him here. It says, okay, I spend a charge before I do a blue.
Mm.
Barrel rolls off 3 straight, uses the title, you slam, and then you use the charge. What does they have him in? It says, choose bar one for slow action. Perform barrel roll, executing his 3 straight maneuver, and then use his black one title to perform a slam action and pull within range 1. The title silencer. Finally, he can use his ability to acquire a target lock on a silencer.
Mm.
What his supposed ability was. Oh crap, what was it? After you perform an action, which the slam is an action, you may spend a charge to perform a white action, treating it as red. So then you could do the target lock on him after that, or even you could focus if you wanted to.
True.
But dude, right there, just that. I mean, he moved a huge
Incredible
distance.
amount of distance.
Like he moved over, and then he slammed. I mean, then he 3 straight slammed to a 3 turn, used his charge and got a target lock.
Insane. Especially the distance, and everyone talked about Countess Riot and her
Yeah, but
maneuverability.
well, he also gets a stress, right? Because he treated that as a red maneuver.
Uh huh. Yep.
So
So at least there's some drawback to that ability, because if they didn't do that, we have a broken rebel on. Right now, we have an almost, in my opinion, broken Imperial. But that person, you do your configuration right against them, and the dice don't roll in your favor. Whew, doesn't matter how overpowered that character was, especially in dodging. Mm.
well, then they have the BB Astromech. It's not the BB-8, just the BB Astromech, and it's the
Uh,
same. It's the same thing. It's kind of like the BB-8. It just says, um, before you execute the blue maneuver, you may spend a charge to perform a barrel roll instead of a barrel roll or a boost.
hmm. Well, I
So
guess it had to be a little bit more dumbed down than the actual BB-8. Hmm.
he's just not specific.
Let's see.
Yeah, boost needs 2 charges.
You can still
Yeah, he
crew
still has 2
too.
charges too. So they both have the same amount of charges, but
Hmm.
what was the one I was going to look at? There's one. So pose a initiative 6.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm reading some of the cards they're showing right now. The main site for the new version, and
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting. Range 1 is dealt with damage cards may require or may acquire a lock on.
Nephew
Yeah.
for
Hmm. You might
Man,
want.
they have a named pilot at an initiative 1.
Hmm.
Jacris Tubbs. Oh, the name on him is Loving Father.
Hmm.
After you fully execute a blue maneuver, you may choose a friendly ship at range 0 to 1. If you do, that ship removes 1 stress token.
Hmm.
Not bad, depending on how much more that is than like the Blue Squadron, Red Squadron.
True.
Uh,
Which I need to go back and look at the Rebels before I say anything else on that part. Say, oh, those squads are done, and find out that there's 2 or 3 of those cards still. Hey, we survived, so we come back and we're willing to be a part of this new sequel and all that stuff. I'm thinking Star Wars movie at the same time when I said the word sequel. Like, oh, by the way, that's something I was thinking about. It's like if we, oh god, it's like there's this new saying I've been saying since Star Wars Episode 8, Last of the Jedi. I sat down when I found out Carrie Fisher passed. I was saying like, I feel bad for Carrie Fisher. Let's look at the movie she was a part of. Is there anything that I should be like irritable about? Well, let's see. Han Solo, actor, once his character dies, so his character dies. Okay, congratulations. Not do the character anymore. So we should be fine. We should be fine with the replacement. Harrison, Dr. Grant. There we go. That's his character. No, it was Dr. Grant. I keep getting it up. I don't know how I said that one.
I don't know
Oh,
where
there
you're
we go.
going with this.
My brain was processing, and I was going too deep. No, Harrison Ford's character. This shows you how bad I am with celebrities. I was trying to remember the celebrity's name. That's how I ended up in Jurassic Park. um,
Okay.
yeah, I was thinking Suave, and it was like I know it couldn't be Jeff Goldblum, so I just said Grant first, and it was like, wait a minute, that's not the character. It's good God. But anyways, Harrison Ford. He's a not bad actor. Everyone loves his character Han Solo. He absolutely despises him. I sit there and still stand in shock, like, dude, if it wasn't for you playing Han Solo, a lot of the money you have may not be where it's at, and not the fame that you gained after being Han Solo may have took a little bit more time, but never mind. Long story short, that's how you got most of it. Back to the concept. His character's dead. He don't have to ever do Han Solo. Okay, I forget the name of the actor right now who played Luke. Luke, I was like, yeah, Luke is going to be there for a long time, especially after the announcement of Carrie Fisher's passing. Maybe he comes out, huh?
Yeah, Mark Hamill.
Yeah, Mark Hamill. I was like, okay, Mark Hamill's going to stay. Mark Hamill's going to stay. Leia's going to unfortunately pass away in this movie, so we can have a nice ride off. Why is Mark Hamill's character gone now? And Leia is theoretically still alive. Someone please
Yeah,
explain.
it's just ironic that it kind of switched out that way. You know,
Exactly.
his character dies, but she lives, and
Mm.
yeah, and it's the opposite in real life.
Pretty much. And it's like, I know I went on a tangent right there, but the tangent was connected to the whole new update version. It's like, all right, the new version is coming out. Who's gonna be left? Who's not gonna be there? It's kind of like the first batch of the 2.0. I was so excited. It's like they're gonna probably update one of my favorite characters of the Rebel side. Tycho Silly is not in the game. No, no, I won Tycho Silly. You gave me Countess Riot. You gave me what was it? What was it? I want to say, yeah, they gave me Legend Chili so I could mess with him. Why can you give me Tycho? You gave me Tycho with his crazy ability because it's comedy. I still don't know what you could do with all that stress tokens. Is that
Yeah,
build a massive amount of stress tokens? Because what was his thing? He ignored stress. He didn't have enough armor to actually go toe to toe with some capital ship, but to be annoying, very well good at it. He can possibly do a little bit of damage while being annoying. Yeah. Other than that, a threat, in my opinion, he was more of a joke. I'm not shooting Tycho Silly down as a pilot. It was just, unless you knew how to fly him and make him lethal, it was good for comedy. It was, for my sake, I couldn't get him to do what I wanted to do, so I started off with comedy. So I started getting a little understanding of how his ignoring stress grant him access to weapons that other ships normally couldn't get to. Why? Because he didn't care about stress. So Wedge and Tilly's over here stressed out, so you can't use evade and focus or evade or focus. Tackle Ceiling, I'm stressed, don't care. So it goes back to the concept again. Was he overpowered? In my opinion, no. But was he an annoyance if he was in the hands of a really smart person, know what they're doing? Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they don't really have anybody right now that does stuff like that, you
True.
know. And they, stress is not something that can just be, token stacked anymore.
True. As they're
You know?
playing, I've seen how different it is so much, especially with lock-ons. I was excited. I got a lock on when he stopped. Cal stopped me. He's like, dude, you can't deal with the F and F lock or a CNC lock. You actually have to have your number tap on the base. That number has to be in coordinates with the number of your lock on, which means every lock on token thing is supposed to have the same number as the ship that's flying with them. So it's like, okay, so now I gotta make a system to carry the tokens for these ships. So I won't be digging for the tokens. So I do a lock on. Some
Oh, so
change.
you're talking about just the target lock, so there's not as much on the table, but still you got to make sure you got the numbers that match up.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
was like, that's something I wasn't expecting. I mean, that's why I said there's some cool new stuff, and there's some stuff that I'm like, man, they could have skipped. But then I don't play hardcore tournaments, so I can't just shout out. That makes sense. I say intermediate to intermediate, but professional, I'll take on maybe once in a blue moon to see where I stand. If I beat them after a good cluster of them, like 3, 4 of them, I'm gonna take a shot at the tournament just so people in the gaming world be like, okay, he knows what he's doing. But the updates, they're not bad. Like them. Still miss Tycho silly. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, we get it. You miss your Tycho.
Oh yes, because he was comical. I was like, I could be dangerously funny at the same time. Some people who played me when I took him out, they were dying laughing because I was like, let's see how high I can stack these tokens. And if they weren't paying attention, my other ships were still alive. I had Tycho Silly looking like a fool. And the other ships are sneaking up behind the other ships that, Tycho Silly's way out there, so he ain't a threat. And then I remember one time someone I forget who it was playing against him. I was being such a good ball with Tycho Silly that they stopped trying to attack my other ships and started focusing on Tycho Silly. And when they were doing that, I was slowly picking the ships off behind their back, behind that were coming for me. So by the time they got there, I think they lost 2 capital ships, and they were wondering what happened. I'm like, well, I don't think he was wondering what happened. He just was laughing at the point because it was just funny. Because he's like, "Yes, I finally killed Tycho." I'm like, "No," but I had some significant damage, and by the time, if I could have kept Tycho Silly on the board a little bit longer, allowing him to chase and try to destroy Tycho Silly, I could have made him lose a few more. And I just realized I never made him lose a car. I almost made him lose a car at the point. And when I say car, I'm talking about the card of the actual ship name and all that stuff. But oh, brother, it kills me. But Tycho, he rests asleep peacefully until they call you out again.
I don't think we're gonna have that one.
Yeah,
Now I'm excited.
he'll be missed. And that's why I'm like, I can't wait to see what these other pilots are because I'm looking at yeah, someone's going to educate me on how to say these names. Oh yeah, we're talking about him earlier. Lampard.
Which one was it?
I just call him Lampard.
Lampard.
Yeah, because his name is Lalu. L is the capital L. I think it's an apostrophe or something like that above, in between the L, the capital L and U, and then it's ULO.
Where's he at? Well, I mean, where are you seeing that at?
He's down here next. This car's next to Talisman.
What the hell are you talking about?
I'm actually on the main side looking at the cards. That's what I was telling you. Like, I want to fish it. Huh?
What ship?
Oh, it's a an A-wing.
Oh, I'm sitting here trying to figure out what you're doing from a, um, if when we were on the article, I was sitting there trying to see if it was one of these X-wings. Are you
Oh my,
talking about one of the Resistance X A wings, or is it a?
yeah, the Resistance. Which I'm like I said, I'm glancing as I'm talking, and I'm just learning as I talk, and it's like, interesting.
Are you looking at the conversion kit right now?
Yeah, I was looking at the conversion kit because I know I'm trying to stay on. I get thrown off topic constantly because I'm using. Like when I was playing my game earlier, I was telling Calvin that I was sitting here using 1.0 version tactic thought with 2.0 tactic thoughts because that's how it's going to help me relate to the new version, so I won't have so many questions that I'm going to ask. Which actually I'm impressed. I did pretty good on not having to ask too many questions.
Trying to
And
I'm trying to
go
see
ahead.
which one you're talking about.
Because I'm like I said, I'm on the main page right now. Fantasy flight games.
You're but just on on the home screen.
Yeah, when you go look up resistance, give me a second. I'm gonna try to. I'll see you the actual web page. Hopefully, it does what it's supposed to do, not just sit there and say "do not recognize." Okay, just pull the page up. All right, going down here, clicking, right click, and paste and sending. That's where I'm at right now. If you see it on the thing.
Oh yeah, I'm pulling it up. But you're under what? Spark of the Rebellion.
Oh, sorry, Spark of the Rebellion. It is. Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
no, I mean I get it, but that's the conversion kit for the well, that's the four. That's the thing about the new four expansion packs, which really is just a conversion kit, two ships, and some dials.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
was
be
kind of
less.
excited when they said four, and I was like, "Ooh, they're getting some ships." No,
They're just getting dials. Oh man, I feel sorry for the. Well, we all eventually going to get dials for our resistant fighters that we. Huh?
now I see what you're talking about. That Lula Lumpar.
I was glancing at him, and now I go look him up because I was about to say if I'm not on the same thing, which I now got confirmation we're not on the same page. Yeah, while you were defending or performing a primary attack, you are stretching must roll in your defense die or additional attack die.
That's crazy. That pilot ability.
That actually
If
is a backfire.
if you're stressed and you defend, you throw one less defense dice, and then if you're stressed and you're attacking, you want roll one extra one.
So it's like you win and lose at the same time. So, oh, wow. Yeah. That's the stuff that, how can I put it? This version, as much as it gives you a feel good, it gives you a reality check very quickly, as I like to call it. So it's like,
Yeah,
yes, I hit you. Wait a minute, someone's about to hit me back and I can't. Oh no. Basically, that's what you get.
yeah. And then if you look at the dial for it, man, they got like almost everything in there.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a five K turn,
Yeah.
4 and 5 straights, 3, you have just about everything. You got the sloop, um, but no Talon roll. That's the only thing you're missing in 3s.
Yeah.
2s, man, all of 2s are blue.
Hmm. That is true.
Straight, bank, and turn. But they only
Well,
have the one turns. They don't have a banks or a straight for one. So
makes
pretty much
sense.
you can go straight from either speed 2 or 5.
Pretty much because, like I was gonna say, in the movies and the stores, the A-wing wasn't considered a slow moving starfighter. It's like, well, compared to the speeders were like a high end Ferrari. Whereas when I just finished, I'm getting also getting some help. I just gotta remember where I was going. Yeah, I lost the train of thought. I was going smoothly, so all of a sudden I was trying to put it together and it just went blank.
But look at if you do a 3 sloop,
Uh,
right? You get you get a stress token,
yeah.
and then you have prime thrusters on there.
Uh,
So if you have 2 or fewer stress tokens, you can perform a boost or a barrel roll even while stressed. So here you take the A wing, you do a 3 sloop, or even a 5K turn,
mm-hmm.
and then you can boost or barrel roll. Dude, that's
Yeah.
nuts. That is nuts.
I might have to. I'll wait until that comes out and try that out. Now it's gonna make me go look through the rebels and see what squad I can build. Man, it's like so. I mean, it feels like the 2.0. I think it was someone else in our group that pointed best. And the best way I can put it is, I'm not gonna say in his words, but I'm gonna say in my own words. If everybody was playing the same game, there's always gonna be someone that's better. But if you can change it every so often, then it causes the best player in life to have to work for whatever goal they were getting beforehand. Then bringing, why is it like we're having these moments of clipped out blackouts?
I
So I
know.
was going to
I think you
explain
just
it.
out.
I
Hey, I
was
don't know. I don't know if you saw on the quick build card that they have for the A wing there. They
uh
have aerosphere paint.
hmm, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's nuts. What is that? The system slot? But I wonder what that's gonna be. What the hell that's gonna be coming
The
out with?
Pharaoh's spear paint has actually got my undivided attention. It actually looks like it's either a machine or could be one of the secondary droid style machines that looks like a droid but it's not a droid. Uh, Now I feel confused when I
I
think
don't
of it.
know. It's a
I'm
droid, but
thinking
it doesn't look like a droid.
I'm thinking about the old version game, and I'm trying to remember because I never really used this kind of ability card that much. Because as I'm looking at the image, it reminds me not of a droid head, but it reminds me like a remote control or a radio style box system with the antenna sticking up. So it's like it's sending signals to whatever device you want to. And every time I seen that, it was either for I want to say machine upgrade or performance upgrade. I just wish I knew what it was, but I'm still drawing a blank. What? But anyways, when I see that, it makes me just sit here and wondering: is it going to be a robot or is it actually a paint job that gives the? Now this one sounds really out there. It gives the pilot courage, which may boost their agility. I'm assuming.
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to look it up to see if anybody has anything, but there's nothing on anybody.
And now I remember what it. I should have looked right there in the bottom left corner. It should. It looks just like that picture in the bottom left corner for the specialty card.
Yeah.
Prime thrusters. Okay.
There's nothing else out there on it.
I don't think we're gonna hear that much until it's time for it to come out, like the first order, if it hasn't came out already. Mm.
Well, I guess the ferrosphere paint, it's to throw off the enemy's sensors, but what does it make you allow you to remove a target lock or something?
Mm.
I mean, think about it. What is that gonna? What could that do if it's just something that jams sensors or something? You know.
Yeah, and that's what I'm sitting here pondering. It's like, let me go back to my old favorite statement about collectors. You have three types of collectors. You have your collectors who like collecting for the fun of it, and you got collectors who are obsessed with something, and then you have collectors who are really thinking about making what the guy a financial success when it comes to the concept of X-Wing. It all boils down to planning, how you're going to run the ship once you finally get it. Even though we don't know what ferro painting is, I'm only speculating that it might be a good investment because it's mysterious. So there's a chance that mysteriousness might actually be awesome. Now it could be like cracking, what was it? It's like this German chocolate candy that now this came to America. But it's like, okay, I got out the machine. Let me crack it open. Crack it open. You get a toy you really didn't want. So you're like, as a kid, well, I'm out of luck. So it's like, ooh, what is that? I want to know. I'm wondering if there's going to be some other abilities that we only are going to get. Well, not get the tips or the gist of. And ooh, I just wish I knew what some of this stuff is. Since there's not really that much the word ship upgrades like back in the old one, you could have some nobody running and commanding. If you had the right specialty card, the Millennium Falcon instead of a just Y 1300 ship. That's not the Millennium Falcon. Vice versa, and that's why I'm like, I can only imagine what it could be and what others are waiting for us coming down the line.
Yeah. Um. But have you have any plans on whether or not you're going to do anything with the resistance, or are you going to get the conversion kits?
Since I now have some knowledge of what it is, it's kind of like since I already got invested in the old Resistance Millennium Falcon, I'm probably gonna go ahead and not immediately when it comes out, but I say about a month after it comes out, I'll come out and make an investment on the what do you call it, First Order and Resistance both together, and get my Scum pack so I can actually build the squads of Scum in 2.0 instead of saying I built the squad. Downfall is I gotta find someone that's playing 1.0. Since everyone graduates to the bigger one. mm.
Yeah, I'm
um,
just myself. I'm more ready for the first order one to come out because that's the one I'll be jumping on as soon as it comes out because there's the possibility of running an Epsilon and four Tie fighters
mm.
and those four Tie fighters being at setup. Like if you take that Epsilon, you put it right up to the line, how far forward it can go,
Yeah.
and then those Tie fighters can be within range two, I think it is.
Mm.
Range two of that shuttle, so you can put those way out there in front. So, no matter if your people were gonna come screaming in on the first move, you guys are gonna be engaged.
Which is never a good thing. I mean, long
Well,
story short.
for you,
So
unless I'm the first order one.
right now, I'm getting it mostly for two reasons. So when they decide to start releasing more stuff for Resistance, instead of just saying, "Well, I gotta leave these two ships that are quote unquote resistant fighter ships on the sideline. Get some now so I can actually start getting a feel of what the resistant fighters are going to be like, what their abilities are going to be. Because I'm still sitting here wondering, I'm just wondering, all in all,
So,
which squad's going to feel right for me next.
well,
Oh,
think about this. This is the one that I like, is because you have that Upsilon shuttle, and you have to have their the hyperspace tracking data.
yeah.
You use that, and you say, okay, well, my shuttle's going to be initiative 0,
Mm-hmm.
so you get to set her first. I say her. I don't know if it's a dude or not, but anyways, Lieutenant Dormant's. You set her first, and then you go and you set Tie fighters,
Makes sense.
because then that allows you to put those Tie fighters there without down the range, out in the middle of the damn near in the middle of the board.
Yeah. So, okay. So, in a way, you're also getting back the ability that Han Solo used to have where he can disorient it, or what was it? Basically, what I'm trying to do is compare. There is a way to do stuff, and there's a way to not do stuff to get to where your end goal is. I know it just sounded really weird when I said that, but it comes back to the concept of what we're talking about here. It's like we pick the. My opinion, I'm like, do I pick my force now, my side now, or do I just wait to see how everyone feels so far? And so far, everyone's sort of happy with the upgrade version for Empire and what was it? Yeah, smoke. Okay. Anyways, back to what I was saying. It is important to. I'm sorry, I get sidetracked on my thoughts so much. That's how I end up all over the place. That's why I warn people when I start talking. It's just interesting to watch me because I'm sitting here thinking about one thing and something else I'm not supposed to be thinking about just comes into my head. And I'm like, why? I'm sitting here contemplating X-wing, and it's like I halfway through something that related to work as I was thinking kicked off and ran muck in my head. I was like, kill it. But back to the X-wing concept. It's like I still don't want to make a decision fully on saying, okay, I don't know why I bought these other conversion kits. Instead, I should have just stuck with one. And my feeling is if I go with the conversion kits, they never know. They might actually be. I'm not saying it's going to actually be like a mystery prize, but it kind of goes back to the time. I think it was Aaron or whoever was here at the hobby store earlier today, and we were talking. Might have been him or somebody else, and I was talking to them, and I was like, "I got an empty pack of such and such." No, actually, that was a custom. Yeah, there we go. My brain split that thing up so bad. But Star Wars, it's like I
Back on track.
want. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna stick with the Empire. But as I've been playing, it's like the rebels are starting to sound a little more interesting too. Because at one time, the rebels, it wasn't, how can I say, formation flying for me was not easy with the rebels compared to the Empire. If
Well,
you
I
take
mean, but with the rebels, you don't have to do the formation flying.
true, and that was
You might fly a couple of the X-wings next to each other just because of pilot abilities or whatnot. But
true.
I mean, you don't really have to. You can
Yeah,
take a three ship build where it's got um, the X-wings. Let's see what it was, somebody on here on on the Nordics, they had a Luke Skywalker, Wedge Antilles, and Nora Wexley. Well,
interesting.
Nora's not an X-wing, but you know what I'm saying. It's still
Yeah,
three ships,
true.
and they moved them. I mean, I don't know how they set up or anything, but you could even use those to just move around. So
Yeah,
it's like Tie fighters, which they're a lot better when you have a swarm.
that I agree with you on. And the reason why I was saying formation is how can I put it? This is what got me killed a lot in all the beginning when I started getting involved in X-wing. And the long story short was, I used to use what I knew in flight simulators and dogfighting sim games with planes that formation is not really. Oh, we're looking pretty, but It's actually more or less concentrated firepower getting ready to unleash an unspeakable amount of nightmares on the landscape. If you want, run.
Well, I mean, that's the whole idea of behind the tie swarm is
True,
because you have 5 ships in a swarm, then they all have only one target. I mean,
true,
look at all those attack dice are coming at it.
true.
So it makes a big difference because, I mean, a percentage of those are going to get through.
Yeah,
So, and if they do, then there they are. I mean, doing a lot of damage. Even if on your return you decide to pick off one, there's still 4 more.
true.
You know, so
And that was how can I say that's the pro of doing swarm tactics with the interceptors. Whereas if you did it with any other standard ships, chemicals. How? Why is my brain doing that to me? I was doing so fine. Yeah. Formation. God, just that time. That's how I know I'm pushing my thought patterns to its limits because two things I'm normally pushing to the back of my brain are now interfering with my thoughts. So I'm dialing right back to the formation. Stay focused, brain.
see, like
Man,
I even have a list that I made up that's got you know it's 4 TIE fighters and a Reaper.
not bad.
And it's all pretty nasty.
And that
But it works pretty good with each other.
And that's what I was say. That's the goal when I tell anybody when you build a squad. It's not can I make it look beautiful? It's how can I take a squad, make them as deadly as possible? And when I was mentioning about the X-Wings and formation, I was trying to say I wanted to start off a squad like that. So they come straight at the first target. It hits first, and then I just had to do is figure out which one is the weakest one, and let the two stronger ones go, well, two that make it through. Because if it's three, the third one go look for the strong one and just mess with the strong one, hope to keep the strong one out the fight of the weaker one. While I have the other two just hunt down the other one and just wipe them out one by one until we have just the strong one left. So, you get a chance to know the number count per ship and all that good stuff. Okay, I'm going to focus on the weak ones because if I take out the weak ones, then I don't have to worry about some large one. Then is a catch 22 at the end. So that's why I'm like, technically speaking, oh my god, I
Well, I mean,
can't. But
personally, personally,
like,
you got to look at the opponent's list and figure out
yep,
who your number 1 target is. I mean, you got to take out the biggest threat that you can. Um, but unless like you start your engaged, I mean, you start moving, and that one ace or whatever is sitting in the back, just kind of hanging back there. It makes
true.
it tough to try to go after that one. But if they're in the mix of the fight, and that should be your target, because I mean, if I have a bunch of um, Red Squadron pilots or something, and then I have a Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Luke is going to be the guy that's going to want to be, you're going to want to go to. But if he's hanging around and the other ones are swarming around you,
Yeah.
it kind of forces your hand. But otherwise, and you just start going towards them because who can do a lot more damage to you, Luke or just a regular, no name pilot?
It's gonna be Luke, and and I totally agree with you on that part. It's just I'm thinking of how can I say it was one time like you said you take a look, try to figure out what's the biggest threat, and a few times when I thought the biggest threat was that the person knew that I was trying to focus on their big threat. So what they did, took the weaker ship, had them just sitting on the sideline until we got close to the end of figuring out how to get something all set up. And they're like, well, since he's big and he wasn't taking his time, I'll go down here and knock all this stuff out and make him look silly.
Yeah,
Uh,
I get it. But yeah, personally, I'm not one of those ones that likes to hang back and play back. I'm more aggressive on my play style usually. So,
and
um, like that squad I had
Mm-hmm.
talking about with the 4 TIE fighters and Reaper, because I have like Inferno Squad going. Um, you know, Iden and Gideon and Delmico and I don't know, Cien or Sean or what. I don't know how. I don't remember what the name of it is. If name is, but then you have Major Vermeil on the Reaper,
Mm-hmm.
and then I threw Darth Vader and Juke on it.
Mm. It's that
But you know,
lovely.
not much, but like crack shot and stuff on a couple of the TIE fighters, and
Mm.
then I have what I think marksmanship on one of them.
Oh, well, find the distance, speed, trajectory. But anyways, I seen that some chips on it made me think about the spy tools I've seen so far for cosmetic beauty and all that stuff. Oh, this is just baking good time. You're a National person hop out and you start yelling at her. She had two choices: be nice or be cruel. Hmm. Always
So
what I'm thinking.
think about this on this squad that I was looking at.
Yeah.
Uh, if you have Iden shoot first because there's just saying if a friendly gets damaged, it's her pilot ability. So you shoot first, you give that sucker a damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Gideon who shoots at it and says, "While you perform an attack against a damaged defender, roll an additional attack dice." So you get a
Mm.
one extra one for that. And
Yeah.
then Del Miko, you throw him in there and it says, while a friendly ship at range 0 to 2 defends against a damaged attacker, the defender may re-roll one defense dice.
Hmm.
So, anytime that ship shoots back,
Mm-hmm.
then they get one more defense dice.
Mm.
And it says what, and then the other one it says while you perform an attack, you can spend one crit result. If you deal one face down damage card to the defender, then cancel the remaining results, or you just shoot them first, and
Mm.
then Gideon after that one because then Gideon gets that extra attack dice.
I can't shoot him down.
And then if you have Major Vermeil after that, and if they've already lost all their focus or evades, then it says if you perform an attack, if the defender does not have any green tokens, since you've already used it because you've attacked it 4 times already,
Mm-hmm.
you may change a focus to a hit result,
Mm.
but it's while you perform an attack. So that's when we start looking at um, the order of who does what on what's the order of operation for the firing, and who gets to adjust dice, to modify the dice first,
Mm.
because then it makes a big difference. Makes a big difference. Do I have the steps here? I'm trying to see if I have the steps. Because I know we had another thing that came up that um, we were there, and it was when we were first playing it, we were trying to figure out who modifies what because of some of the different um, changing of the dice. It
Mm-hmm.
matters on which order that you put it in, because if you do it in the wrong order, you might screw yourself up. I mean, really mess up your own ship. Might
Mm-hmm.
end up taking damage that you didn't even expect to, or you suffered or you gave them less damage than you should have.
Mm.
So, still looking timing.
Mm.
Oh, that's just wordy. Trying to see if they have the list that I'm looking at right here, whether or not they have the list of if that was on. I think that was on a different rule book. Shit, I don't know. I'll have to find it.
Don't worry, I know the feeling. Trust me. They always come with something and like, here you go, sign it. And you're like, what did I just sign?
Well, I mean, it's different, like when they first were releasing this and as things came out, you had new rules to learn for the new stuff. And then, all these conversion kits come out all at once and you got all this shit to try to remember. So we'll see if this is the one. Yeah, I think this might be the one. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, so you form your attack. Okay, so so when you roll your attack, the defender first modifies your attack ones, your attack dice, and if you end up having I mean, and let's say they turn it to a blank or a focus or whatever, then you just use this one, whereas a blank or focus, you use it as a hit. So yeah, that even works.
Yeah.
Because it comes to if you have a focus or a blank, you can do that. So then it just doesn't work if you roll, all hits. Are you there, Larry?
Yeah, I'm there. Standing up, listening to all the stuff that you hear and all the stuff you're gathering is like, I'm sorry, I give myself kind of the Netherlands. It's like, the Netherlands are always trying to come back, along with Italy. I'm not sure that was a good or bad idea. Only time will tell.
Man, you pop some of the most random things come in your head.
Yeah, those happens like that. That's why I always want people. I'm forever thinking. I come with an idea, and as I go, my mind starts to float like I don't want it to, and I'm like, where did that come from? Like for
Yeah.
instance, talking about this, I'm limited on my knowledge, but I'm trying to gather as much as I can, so I can sound a little more knowledgeable than normal.
Yeah, hey, I was really hoping that Darren was going to show up tonight because him and all his Mandalorian stuff and
Yep.
his new pictures and whatnot with Boba Fett or the Mandalorian helmets. The subscription I have for the Smuggler's Bounty for Star Wars that send out those the boxes and they usually have like a pop doll in it or something. I was really hoping that he was going to be on because I was going to show him the one I got today. It says Boba gets his bounty. It's Boba Fett and Han Solo and Carbonite.
Hmm.
See it?
Man behind.
So I thought he would like that. Then I got another little bobblehead of Chewie, but he's got the backpack with 3PO on it. So, well, all right. You got anything else to talk about, Larry?
No, I'm actually drawing a blank right now because that's what I've been running around in circles about. It's like, do I have anything really I can think of? No, I'm actually hitting the brick wall. Like you were saying about Darren coming in, it would have been more awesome if Darren was here because I'm like, I can ask him some questions I don't know about Mandalorian that I've been trying to do research on that's not canon. Ugh.
Are
Because
you
there's a
talking about the live action show?
no, I guess that's the part it kicks off. It's like they're going hand in hand, so it's kind of like Do I want to know what's on the TV show? Not so much. I rather know what the ship's new capabilities are. Well, basically, how can I plan them to move around and be more effective? There we go. Whew.
Yeah, I
Doing
get
that.
it. But did you hear any of the news lately about any of the Star Wars projects?
No, not lately.
I know last week, during the filming of the Mandalorian, the
Uh huh.
report was that somebody, got away with, like there was a theft, and they got away with one of the memory cards from a camera that had like footage and stuff on it
Uh
of what they've already shot, and they had
yeah.
like, cops all over the set. So it's like,
Yeah.
man, somebody's got something.
Oh yeah.
I'm just
And
waiting for something to pop up.
it probably won't because the fear of if they pop it up. I can't say in my understand the best way I can put it. There's an old saying I've been hearing from police officers on TV shows saying follow something called the breadcrumbs. Well, if you stop and you follow the breadcrumbs, you eventually run into an empty what do you call it? Showroom? Technically speaking, while the next car or whatever is being built. Just a few few rooms away. And I tell everybody you get a chance to test drive the car, so get it rent for about I want to say up to 100 or so, and you bring it back down some. It's gonna be
I don't know
great.
what the hell that had to do with any of it, but
I don't even know either. My brain just floated off somewhere.
yeah, you think so? Yeah,
Oh my
but
god! I was on task and I knew it was something I was thinking and
I think
processing.
you're getting delirious because you're tired.
Yeah, I'm trying to together.
That's okay.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I mean, if there's nothing else we can talk about, I mean, we can go ahead and you know draw the draw the episode to an end.
true. I just wish we had more people because that would add flavor to it. Because then I could sit in the background, listen to them, and not going delirious.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to. I talked to Austin earlier this week, and he was possibly going to come on, but he sent me a message right before and said he wasn't going to make it. That would have been fun
True.
because he stopped by my work the other day and was talking to him, and
Mm-hmm.
um, I said, "Yeah, man, we could spend 3 or 4 hours sitting there just shit talking back and forth to each other."
Yeah.
He agreed. That's for sure.
Oh,
Um, but okay, well, we can go ahead and cut it. Do you have anything else to say then?
no. I just wish everyone to have a great week. That's all about it.
All right.
Really.
Want everyone to thank you if you watch this. Thank you for watching. Hit our like button. Like our page and videos. And I know there's going to be soon. There's going to be a Patreon link that people can sign up for. So if you help us out, that'd be great. We would appreciate it. And like our videos, like them, like them down there. Um, all right. Well, then, until next time, Mr. Larry, I'll see you. And
You.
that's it. Have a good
All right.
night.
Good night, guys.